Good evening and welcome to another G Sport Live. It's going to be an exciting show because tonight we are celebrating the Power of Recognition Week. As you can see, I am not riding solo. I have a very special guest with me in studio. She flew all the way from Sky to come and pop in for the Power of Recognition. How are you, Kass?
It's so good to be here. I thought, well, I can't miss the Power of Recognition Week. It is such a special week for us as we celebrate the nominations process for the Momentum G Sport Awards. So fantastic one-off test in Somerset between England and the Momentum Proteas. I hopped onto a flight and I said, gotta be here on Monday evening.
How was that experience with the Momentum Proteas going on their first test in 7 years? And most of them, actually all of them, were debutants.
Yeah, there were about 9 debutants on the team. Only 2 had previously played test match cricket. As I had said on Sky, in my 19 years of cricket broadcasting, it was the most excited I'd been in a consistent period in the whole build-up to that game. The capping presentations, the parents that were there, the way they were crying tears of joy to see their daughters play the longer format. I'd like to see us introduce more of this at a provincial level for South African women's cricket, and hopefully at some stage Cricket South Africa, no pressure on you, Cricket South Africa, but a test match for women's cricketers in our country would be a wonderful way to show that we've learned from this experience and we're going to build on it.
And do you think the draw that has come in and given the ladies a bit of a confidence boost?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you think of someone like Tumiseko Kune and how she just occupied the crease, and they would have picked up so much insights from what they're capable of. And I think with test match cricket, it's really about the courage to back your skills. And that's what they would have picked up. We head into the limited over series. So the first ODI is next Monday. Can't wait for it in Northampton. So there are 3 ODI series and 3 T20s. And, you know, there's a T20 World Cup coming up next year. So places up for grabs. I think with someone like Mignon du Preez having retired from the ODI format, who will fill that spot? So lots of questions, but very exciting time, I think, for the Momentum Proteas. The professional contracts are paying off. The global league representation is paying off for them. And it's just wonderful to see them plying their trade on the global stage.
Yeah, the talent is definitely paying off. As you can see, the G Sport newsroom is always pumping up these stories. The top 3 performing leading weekend news stars are going to be shown to you just now. Stars from the leading weekend news has graced us with a video on how it is so great to be mentioned on our G Sport platforms. Let's take a look at what Awande Malinga had to say about
Hi
being
guys,
honored.
it's Awande Malinga. Thank you to G Sport for featuring me on the leading weekend news. It is my pleasure to have won gold during the SA School Squash Interprovincial Tournament held in Cape Town with my Gauteng North Girls Under 19 team. It is my 4th time consecutively winning gold with different Gauteng North teams since under 16. I'm grateful to have such a strong team each year, and I hope for many golds in the future. And I just want to say a big thank you to G Sport once again.
And that win has set her up quite nicely for the upcoming Women's World Squash Championships. We'll be rooting for her, and of course, G Sport will be telling her story. That's not the only news going on. Tonight, we have Banyana Banyana playing against Nigeria and the Women's AFCON. So let's hop on over to Cape Town, where content lead Celine Abrahams will be giving us this insight about this great rivalry.
Thank you so much, Babsie, and good evening to our viewers who have joined us. Tonight is really special because Banyana Banyana are taking on Nigeria's Super Falcons at the Africa Women's Cup of Nations, which is taking place in Morocco. There's so much rivalry between these two camps on field, so who will come out victorious? We will only have to wait and see. Please do check out at G Sport for Girls on Twitter, where we have a live match center and there's regular updates that we will be bringing to you. Also, if you'd like to know what is happening with the other countries and their matches, please do go to gsport.co.za, where we have daily wraps on the tournament. Thank you so much, and I look forward to chatting to you next week, Monday.
G Sport will always bring you the latest updates of the Women's AFCON. How do you feel about how G Sport covers all the different sporting codes?
You know, being away from you guys and being in England, I feel like I'm your personal stalker on the platforms. I'm always looking for news stories, and what I've appreciated in the last week, looking at the power of recognition and the theme, is how many former Momentum G Sport Award winners have featured on our platforms as newsmakers. If you look at someone like Mignon Dupré, she's been appointed a consultant at the Fairbreak Invitational Tournament, and she's a former Special Recognition Award winner. Look at Awande Malinga, who you've spoken about, right? Public Choice Award winner in 2020. So what has stood out for me in the newsroom is we have said that when you win on the Momentum G Sport Award stage, you go on to achieve greater things. I think the newsroom this week has shown that that is actually the case.
No, from G Sport to the world. That's how we do it. And up next in our big interview, we have the reigning athlete of the year, SHABNIM ISMAIL. We're going to be seeing her in action in that limited over series.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is great about SHABNIM is she is probably one of the most humble cricketers you will meet, one of the most humble sports people you'll meet, one of the most hardworking. And what she always says is, I play every match like it's a World Cup final. And with an attitude like that, I'm so honored to have had a win on the Momentum G Sport Award stage. And she often says, it's the one award every athlete wants to win.
No, we're looking forward to that one. Let's head on over and watch this great interview.
It's my favorite time of the day. It's time for the big interview and someone who I always enjoy interviewing. The last time I interviewed her was 3 years ago, back in India in Surat, when we launched the G-Sport Global chapter. I'm talking about the reigning Momentum Athlete of the Year and one of the greatest of all time in terms of women's cricket in South Africa. SHABNIM ISMAIL, how are you?
Hi everyone, I'm fine. How are you doing, Kass?
I am really well, thank you. First up, I have to say, you're the reigning Momentum Athlete of the Year. It is a category everybody wants to go out and win, to beat Caster, to beat SHABNIM, beat Portia. What's it like to have won such a big award on the Momentum G-Sport Awards stage?
First of all, I never really expected it. I know performances speak for themselves. But I mean, this is one of the awards that I really appreciate. I think to have accolade like this alongside my name with Kass Naidoo, especially one of the top ranked athletes overall in the world. I think it's amazing to have something like this. And to get the achievement just means the world to me. I mean, there's still more in me, there's still more to come. But you know what? I appreciate everything that I've received so far throughout my career. And I'm just hoping for much more to come my way and lots more success as well.
You are just incredible in your career. When I think about having met you all those years ago, back in 2007, and 15 years later, that you remain such a great champion. When you reflect on the journey, what has been the secret to your success?
Yeah, I think mostly it's just I'm a strong believer of winning. When I'm having fun, I think that's when I play my best cricket. And then also, I don't think people really see what happens behind scenes. I think behind scenes, that's basically where all the hard yards start. And basically, when you go on the field, you just have to go out there and just portray your skills and your talent that you have been putting up behind scenes. So I think that's one part that I really, really enjoy. And obviously, I have to speak about the team as well. I don't think I would have had so much success without them. And it is a team sport after all. And then obviously, I'm just enjoying my cricket overall. I think at this year, at this age, I just think that I'm peaking and I'm really having fun in what I'm doing.
So many seasoned cricketers are looking back on the journey and thinking, wow, the changes that we're seeing now, imagine if they happened all those years ago. When you look at what's coming for women's cricket now and the fact that you're still in the prime of your career and you get to enjoy it, how special is that?
Yeah, it's very special. I don't think words can actually describe, first of all, just playing for your country every time, putting on the green and gold. I think that just it's an amazing feeling, obviously putting on the green and gold, walking out there with the team, especially singing the national anthem in front of millions and millions of people. So I think that just chuffs you more. It puts you in the mood, obviously, to want to go out there and want to do well for the country, for all the fans, for all the families. So I think that just motivates me day in and day out.
Nearly 10 years ago, Momentum put their best foot forward for women's cricket with professional contracts. We're seeing now more and more sporting codes doing that, most recently Netball South Africa. How important is it that women are professionally contracted in sports so they can give off their best?
Yeah, I think it's very important. And you know what, I always speak about cricket being a male-dominated sport. I 100% disagree with that. I think the way women overall, whether it be cricket, netball, soccer, I think the way we've been portraying our skills in the sporting environment just shows that, you know what, there is a future in cricket, and there can be futures in other sports as well. So I think the more and more little ones watches and see actually how we're playing and how we're doing, I think that motivates them more to actually want to be a SHABNIM, so want to be a Kass Naidoo and so forth. So I think it's very important for women cricket in general and women's sport in general to have that talent behind their name.
I know how desperately you wanted to win the World Cup. It wasn't to be, but how special is it to be able to play at world events, knowing as a young girl, that was your dream. Your dream was to wear the green and gold, and that you get to do this, and that young girls, as you say, want to be you. Surely it's a big moment for you to know the impact that you're making in global women's sport.
100%. I think it's still a bit of pulse as well. I think all the World Cups we've been to so far, I think we just reached that semi-final but couldn't get over the line. But it's really special going out with a bunch of players that we have within the squad now. I think it was such a challenging team that we actually felt like a winning team. We knew we were going to win that World Cup, but unfortunately we fell short, obviously, in the semi-final. But I think just going there with the team and the way we portrayed ourselves, the way we played our cricket, I think that showed immense growth and immense talent. But I'm still 100% certain that there is going to be a World Cup that's going to come, that we're 100% going to win it.
Women's T20 World Cup in South Africa. That's a good opportunity. I know there will be pressure. There's always pressure on South African teams, but a great opportunity for South Africa to host a World Cup again.
100%. I think I'm very excited. We always have that family members and that friends that always say, it's not live streamed or it's not on TV or we can't fly over to watch it and so forth. But I mean, it's going to be huge for cricket in general in South Africa to be playing the T20 World Cup there. So I think all our friends, all our family, all our supporters, momentum. I'm talking about G Sport, World Cricket, everything. I think it's going to be really great for us to have something so special in South Africa. I think it's been coming on a long way now. So I'm hoping that obviously we can get over the line then and obviously take the trophy and just keep it at home one time.
I agree with you. Well, you talk about the T20 World Cup, you talk about the supporters, but also TV coverage, which you mentioned. Momentum have the #OneMoreFan campaign to try to close the sponsorship gap. But here's SuperSport playing a huge role in ensuring that we get to watch you when you're playing on the international stage.
100%, and that's one thing I actually forgot to mention, which is very bad of me, and just credit to SuperSport as well. I think they've been doing an amazing job televising our games just for our families, for our friends back home, and all around the world to actually know that, there is women's cricket and everyone's supporting us, and just credit to them as well, 100%.
I've always enjoyed interviewing you because what you see is what you get. There's never a moment where you wonder how SHABNIM is doing. How do you remain so real? How do you remain so authentic that whenever people are close to you, they want to be close to you?
I don't know. I just think just basically how I've been brought up. I think I'm not that show-off type of person. I just let everything be. I don't even know about stats, to be honest with you. A lot of people WhatsApp me or send me DMs on Instagram saying, Shibs, you're number one or you're number two. But I take each day as it comes. I first of all, I want to be a good human being and then obviously be a great cricketer. And I think everything falls into place, obviously knowing what kind of person you are off the field and then on the field as well. And I think not a lot of people actually know what kind of person I am off the field. I think it was Sophie Eccleston. I think we had that rift in the semi-final where we went off at each other. And I think after the game, she went to Lizelle and said, I actually quite like her. She's fiery on the field, but she's actually a real sweetheart.
But you are a sweetheart of the field. And I think that's the thing, is you're able to get into that big match mode and the beast mode. And then after that, you're able to just be who you are, enjoying your music, enjoying fast cars. When you're not on the cricket field, what do you really enjoy doing? How do you get your mind off cricket?
To be honest, I love my own space in my room. Like even today, I'm like in my room. I love my own space. I love my downtime. I think that's where everything happens. I think before I was a lot in my head where I thought I'm not doing well in my cricket, but I think now I'm more positive in what I do and how I approach my game, in what sense, and then obviously just mindset of day before a game, knowing what you want to do, knowing if you put the right skill into perspective going into a game. So I just think that comes with experience over the past 15 years that I have been playing, and then also to my bowling coach, he's been amazing. I chat to him basically every second week, and then he obviously tells me what I'm doing right, what I can still do. And I mean, I always say that at the age of 33, I'm still willing to learn new things to put actually new things into perspective into my game. So I always say you're never too old to learn, but I'm just enjoying my cricket 100%, and I hope that I can play for a very, very long time still.
Yeah, well, we're not going to let you go anytime soon. What is your advice for success to young cricketers, those that aspire to play for the Momentum Proteas?
I'd say success, a lot of people say once you're on top, you need to stay on top, but I just take one game. I take one game at a time. I always play every game like it's a World Cup game. So that's basically how I portray myself and how I think I've been successful over the years. Like I'm very hard on myself. Like not a lot of people know that. Or on field, I might just seem like this calm person, like when things are not going well. But sometimes I do get inside my head. It's just that knowing me that mentally strong person, I feel like I am a mentally strong person. And I think that carries me through the tough times during games.
Final question for you. Why should people nominate a worthy candidate for the Momentum G Sport Awards? Why is it important for us to recognize women in sport and the work they're doing?
Yeah, I think it is important. Obviously, you put in the hard yards behind scenes, and obviously everybody wants that one specific thing of obviously knowing that the whole world can see it's either Kass Naidoo or it's a SHABNIM ISMAIL, whether it be a Chloe Trine. I think it's very important for women's sport in general to know that, what, it's not only a male-dominated sport in every sport that we get, but it is a women's sport as well, where we are putting up the good fight, and it's very important for women's sport in general.
Well, we absolutely love reporting on your successes on the G Sport Newsroom. You're often in the leading weekend news. You're a newsmaker of the month. You're winning on our stage and you're inspiring the next generation. Such an honor to always interview you and looking forward to more great milestones from you on the global stage.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And that is the power of recognition. When you have women owning their space and making sure that you can't tell me that cricket is a male-dominated sport. I'm in there and I am owning my space. And I love how she said something that really resonated with me. Nobody ever gets to see what you do in the background. So when you get to the field, have fun. And how often do you let me know that when you're live, just go with the flow, have fun. You've put in the yards. And we've seen how she's put in the yards, and the power of recognition has given her this confidence.
Yeah, it certainly has. And she doesn't often talk about the accolades she receives, but one thing you do know is she notes them. She appreciates being acknowledged, and also it makes her work harder. She wants to do better. And I think every Momentum Proteas player you speak to, what is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is winning a World Cup. But I love the fact that she supports the call for nominations. We want deserving candidates. And I think that Momentum Athlete of the Year category this year is going to be highly contested.
Totally. We are going to see so many great names, rising stars to look out for as well. It's going to be an exciting time. Let's go and see our current Women in Television winner from 2021 Momentum G Sport Awards, Julia Stewart.
Firstly, this trophy is amazing. It's heavy because all my blood, sweat and tears is in here. All my sleepless nights, all my anxiety, all my research, all my time spent in the makeup chair, in studio, all the birthdays I've missed, all the celebrations I've missed, they're all in here. That's why this trophy is so heavy but so beautiful. I just feel so grateful to all the people around me who support me. I feel so amazingly grateful for all the people who voted, who took the time. And I just want to say that it's great seeing so many sponsors this year, and every year it seems like there's more sponsors involved in the G Sport Awards. There's also more women than ever before. Representation is important. We are visible. Let's keep striving for excellence, and I personally am going to sleep so well tonight.
Congratulations.
It's the excitement for me. It's the love, it's the passion, and how great she feels. How do we go and nominate for hashtag GSport17?
Before I get there, I've got to say Julia's acceptance speech, and that was obviously not on the carpet, that was just to our social team, spoke to what this is about, the power of recognition, why you should go on to gsport.co.za/nominations and nominate a worthy candidate, because that is the feeling. That's that winning feeling, right? And when you experience it, I'm told, when you experience that, it makes you want to do greater things. So when you look at the 20 categories that are available to the public, there's a place for everybody. And Julia won in the SuperSport Women in Television category. There's women in radio, women in print, women in social media, PR and sponsorship. And it's these categories that previously weren't even considered. If you think about 2007, when Melinda Lombard was our first ever Women in Media winner, there was one category. Mm-hmm. So I think what's important about this year is it's an open field. There's an opportunity for everyone to put a new name forward. And I just want to clarify something about new names. It's not about having started in the industry. New names meaning someone who perhaps has been working quietly for 20 to 30 years and finally deserves the opportunity to be unearthed as an icon and role model on the Momentum G Sport Award stage. So nominations are open until the 9th of August. Get your nominations in. I believe I've just heard the last count is at least 75 nominations have been received since the 20th of June, which is significant. And athletes are nominating other women in sport. Fantastic to see. Coaches are nominating, administrators are nominating some of their office staff. The power of recognition is really about owning your success. You spoke about owning your space. She owns her success. Momentum are encouraging us yet again to say, ladies, gentlemen, children, agents, anybody, get together and put a deserving candidate forward, and she could have that winning smile like Julia Stewart.
And that's what G Sport does. It gives everyone an opportunity. It's not a one blanket approach. And that's why there's different facets to media. There's PR, there's TV, there's print, there's radio. It gives everyone an opportunity to win and shine and be recognized.
Yes, absolutely. And the other two exciting categories for me are Volunteer of the Year and Supporter of the Year, because these are the unsung heroes, the ones who do the work behind the scenes. So if you think about a coach that perhaps is volunteering for women's football, put his or her name forward. Let's get some new names being honored on the stage this year.
It's an exciting time ahead. We are so excited for the hashtag gsport17 2022 Momentum G Sport Awards. It's always exciting. It gets bigger every year. Like Julia said, there's always more sponsors. And guess what, y'all? Banyana are still keeping it fresh with Nigeria. The score is still currently 0-0. Head on over to our Twitter page. We have our match center there that is giving you regular updates, because that's what we do. We love our women and we love celebrating them. Kass, what can we look forward to in this week of the Power of Recognition?
The Power of Recognition week is really special. We've obviously start with G Sport Live, so we love getting underway with you. We will have the Momentum G Sport Awards newsletter coming out on Wednesday, and that just recaps the campaign to date, some of the developments that have taken place. And then on Thursday is Twitter Space Thursday. It's the Power of Recognition special, and a former winner gets to host that. So that's what's so powerful about the campaign this year, is the voices of former winners are championing the narrative, because who better than a former winner to tell you what it feels like to own the power of recognition?
Exactly. And we are so excited for the Power of Recognition. And I love what you also said about the nominations. Women are uplifting women. They want to see each other win. And that's what G Sports is about. It's not about making sure you're better than anyone else, but it's making sure that we can all shine together. You all have your time to shine. Own that success. Hashtag she owns her success. Time flies when you're having fun, Kass.
It certainly does. And it's so good to be on G Sport Live. I'm unfortunately heading off in a couple of days, but I tell you what, if you're not following at G Sport for Girls across social media, you're missing out, because I get a sense that there are going to be some opportunities coming up in the next couple of weeks for some special people to get involved in the campaign. I can't give too much away.
Keep an eye out. You know, we always come with the greatest of big news, breaking news. Thank you so much for joining us this time. And don't forget to nominate your hashtag gsport17 nominee. Stay glued to our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are always live and ready to get it rolling. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next week.